Hello, and thank you for coming back for part two. This is part two. I wanted to start with explaining how exactly I came up with the values that I had sent out to my friends. And for those of you who are just joining for this episode, I'm on a journey to set values for my business, and I talk about that and why that's important in part one. So go find it. It's all over social media. I wanted to begin by sharing how I came up with the first set of values that I shared with my friends. And that is a pretty easy process because it's really, what are the things that you value? What do I mean by that? It doesn't even have to be business related. What is it that you value? So if you value family, that's a value for you. So how does that translate to business? I don't know. That's for you to figure out. But if that's something that you value, then that's what you start with. If you value money, there's no judgment here. You can value money. That is something that is really connected to business, because most people go into business to do what? Make money. And I'm no different. So there's no right or wrong. Just what is it that you value? What I did was I did a top like 8. Correction. I did a top 9. So just do a top 10 or whatever, and then you can whittle them down to a top 5. You don't want to have that many values in your business as the driver, because then you want to have a focus. You want to be sure that what are the most important things that you value and how you want to run your business. Okay, check. Moving on to the part that we're all here for with bated breath. That is, what is the second value that was brought up amongst my friends and colleagues and peers? And that value is sensuality. Pause. For those of you who are thinking that that is a sexual thing, I'm here to say that you are nasty. And I'm here for it. I support that. But for this particular case, sensuality to me, and why it was important, was because it actually deals with the senses. Okay. It's not just a sexual thing. I know that that's what the connotation is right now in our society for sensuality. And that's okay. Like I said, I'm here for that. But for me, it speaks to the senses that we have. There's 5, depending on who you ask, 6 senses: touch, smell, sight, taste, and hearing. And if you are a woo-woo person, such as myself, then the 6th sense is your intuition and your third eye. So that's what sensuality means. And that's why it was important for me in my business, because this is iridescent sensory healing arts. So that makes the sensational sensations of the senses really important. This particular value came in second to last. It was voted on once by one person. And that's okay, because the exercise was for me to send these words to people that know me, and then for them to relay back what they saw or what they see in me based on the words that I provided, the descriptors, if you will. Cool. No one sees me as sensual or having sensuality. Fine. I'm okay with that. And that leaves us where we are. That sensuality doesn't make it onto the list of things, of values that are going to drive my business. That doesn't mean that it is not an important value for me. And I will continue to hold that one as well in my heart and in my coat pocket as I continue to build my clientele and the business around healing and working through our trauma and such by awakening and utilizing the senses. I think in our current culture, we are inundated and overwhelmed and overstimulated. And that's not in a generative way. My whole reason for being is that the senses are actually there to help you survive. They're there as part of your survival strategy. So having the senses be a part of your everyday life and understanding how they work for you is crucial to getting you through every day. We are overstimulated with violent images, food that is empty calories, no nutrition, but there's a sugar additive or a salt, something that is tingling to the senses that we go back for. The music we listen to is also, if there's words in it, then those words take us to very specific places, and it's around sexuality, violence, greed, just amassing wealth. Not all music, you know what I'm saying? I just want you to understand that what we're dealing with in society today is an overstimulation, but it's a distraction, and it's not helping your nervous system to function properly. Conspiracy theory, it is meant to disrupt you so that you are not taking care of yourself or the people around you. Chiefly and primarily taking care of yourself. Put your mask on first. The flip side, in terms of how the senses can actually support us, is if we are doing some sound toning or some sound baths that are just not just the singing bowls, those are amazing, the gongs, the chimes, the different frequencies, those bring us and ground us. And that's important as we move through life, especially in a stressful environment with the economy, with pandemics, with climate change. These things are really serious. Okay. The baseline for our nervous systems is way off. Yeah, I said that. Also, visual stimulation is hijacked by our screens. I am not saying that TV and social media are evil or bad things. I believe technology is neutral and it's how we use it. If you pay attention to what's being fed to you, because it is being fed to you by algorithms and such, everything has an algorithm. So they're feeding you these pre-packaged menus, and your eyes are just eating all of these images. So what happens when we change what we intake through our eyes and look at art, for instance, visual art, paintings? If we take our asses outside and literally look at trees, look at plants, look at the animals, the insects, things that are going on outside, these are the things that ground you and anchor you in the fact that we are part of an ecosystem, but we've been removed, or we think we are higher than we are in the ecosystem. That is all to say that the way I want to bring in the work that I do is to use your senses to calm, to ground, yes, to heal, to help your nervous system be regulated as opposed to dysregulated. I will leave you with that. I have said a lot today. This is really helpful for me to kind of get my thoughts out and have folks listen to the way I perceive the world. Feel free to share your thoughts with me. Ashe. Thank you again. Have a great, I don't know, but just have a great one. And we will see you on the flip. Blessings.